Hello, hello. I am Dorenthea Nemeth, and I just want to tell you thank you so much for investing your time to spend a few minutes on this webinar, on my first ever webinar. This I am so excited, and this is a milestone for me. And I just want to tell you thank you. Today, we are going to learn how to get ready to take your life to the next level. And you are going to learn 4 easy steps to living your best life God's way. And to tell you a little bit about myself before we get started, I am an inspirational speaker and author. I'm a wife to Albert Nemeth, senior of 26 years, and we have 2 adult children. Our son, Albert II, is married and he's serving in the Navy in Guam. And my daughter, Olivia, is a senior at the University of Toledo. And I love speaking at women's conferences and to women groups, inspiring them as I tell my story about the 12-year incarceration of my husband and my journey during that time and how God took care of me and my children and my husband during that time. And so I wrote a book about it called In the Midst of the Storm, just to give you a little plug there. And I hope you check it out. It's on Amazon. So now we can get started. Now that we have that out of the way, I am going to be sharing with you some keys that have helped me get to where I am now. And that is living my best life God's way. So many people have success, money, material things, but they don't have peace because they've put their heart into all those things instead of God. And without God, we end up making poor choices in life that keep us stuck or going around in circles. Or worse yet, we end up going backwards instead of forwards. So to begin, the first step is have a vision. The first key is vision. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And perish means die. This can refer to natural and or spiritual death, because when you have no vision, you cast off restraints. In other words, when someone doesn't have vision for their life, they abuse money, time, alcohol, or other substances such as drugs. And because all they can see is right here and right now, and they're looking at their circumstances with natural eyes. So when things go bad, then they turn to everything else except God. And then fear comes in and they lose all hope and eventually their faith. So today I want to challenge you or encourage you to allow God to give you spirit eyes. When you have a vision for your future, you are able to look through the lens of the Spirit. And even though your circumstances aren't lining up with your vision or what you want your life to be, when you have spirit eyes, you have vision, then nothing is impossible. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. God has such a bright future for you. What do you see God doing for you and through you? What do you see yourself doing? What is your dream? See, vision is a compilation of your hopes and dreams, your goals, your purpose, and your passion. What is your dream? Your dream should not only be about you, but it should include serving others, being a blessing to others as you use the gifts that God has given to you. It's about you doing what you love doing more than anything else in the world while being a blessing to others. I love speaking. So my dream is to touch other people's lives around the world with the message that God has given me. speaking to women and watching them be healed from hurt and pain and their past. And finally, know their self-worth, that they are worthy of God's love and his blessings. So the first thing you want to do is write the vision and make it plain. Write your dream or vision down. And just so you'll know, I'll be using those terms interchangeably, because Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision or write the dream and make it plain, that he may run that reads it. There's something about writing it down. It becomes more real. Some people even go as far as have a vision board. And I have a vision board that I keep in my office or / guest bedroom on the wall. And my vision is always before my eyes. It contains pictures of people I want to meet, pictures of churches or auditoriums where I want to speak, my dream home on the water. And I just have various pictures of how I see my life at the end of my journey, and what I see myself doing along my journey, and who do I see myself meeting. I have pictures of the people I see myself meeting. And so I want to challenge you to get those pictures in your mind. Or maybe your dream is just to lose weight and get down to a certain size. Or maybe you want to open a home for women who are abused, or you may want to start a business, or you may want to write a book. Whatever your dream is, write it down. Now, before I go any further, I want to explain the difference between dreams and goals. Dreams are about the destination, not the journey. Dreams are about the ideal outcome already realized. However, goals require systems, processes, and structures to facilitate and achieve the end result, or the dream or vision. In other words, goals are the action steps you need to take in order to bring your dream, your vision to pass. It's the journey which is the most important part. See, we're always trying to get it to the end, to reach our dream and that big picture that we see in our minds. But the most important part actually is the journey. Without goals, then a dream will remain just that, a dream. And as a side note, I want to encourage you to enjoy your journey. Don't be in such a hurry to get to the destination that you don't take time to smell the flowers along the way. So please take your time and enjoy yourself where you're at on the way to where you're going. The next step after writing the vision is seeing the vision, not with your natural eyes, but with spirit eyes. Again, like I said before, when you have spirit eyes, see, God wants us to not focus on what's around us, but instead set your eyes on his word. What does his word say about your life? What does his word say about you? And once you know what his word says, then it builds your faith, and your confidence begins to grow, because you're not thinking about what you can do, but what God is able to do through you and for you. And I love what Ephesians 3:20 says. Now to him who was able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. In the past, I've come across various worksheets, one of them being called My Perfect Day. So from that, I came up with my own worksheet titled My Perfect Life, which also came with this video. After this video ends, use the worksheet and write down what your life would look like if money was no object. What would your perfect day be like if you could go anywhere and do anything? I want to challenge you to dream and not just dream, but dream big. The next step is step number 2, write your goals. So, step number 1 was write down your vision or your dream. That's the big picture. Now, I want you to write your goals. As I previously stated, goals are action steps that you need to take in order to bring your dream to pass. Because without goals, like I said before, it's just your dream is just a dream. Now it's time to put hands and feet to your dream. And by that I mean it's time for action. James 2 and 26 says, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." See, having goals is key to seeing your dream come to pass. In the materials that I provided, you will also find a goals worksheet. In order to see your vision manifest, you must have micro and macro goals, or what some people like to call long and short-term goals. Some goals will take a little longer to complete. So those are the long-term goals. But that's okay, because I once read a quote that said, "Chasing after a huge dream is a marathon, not a sprint." And through this whole journey called life, you must remember that you may not reach your dreams as fast as someone else will. We each have our own race to run and our own lane in which to run. So, with that said, stay in your lane. Many times we make the mistake of comparing our race to someone else's. Or, as I heard someone else say, we tend to compare our beginning to someone else's middle. And we get distracted and find ourselves in a rat race because we're trying to compete with someone else who's further along in their journey than we are. And that is a big mistake. Hebrews 12 and 1b says, "Let us run with patience the race that is set before us." In other words, run your own race, because we can get caught up in the comparison game of comparing ourselves with other people, and we become miserable because we see what that other woman is doing, and we see what that someone else can speak better than us, or someone has a faster growing business than we do, and we compare ourselves with other people. But I want to encourage you to run your own race that is set before you, because patience is key. Be patient and know that your dream will manifest in its perfect time, just as long as you do the work and trust God. Now, back to long-term and short-term goals. Now, short-term goals can be broken down by daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly goals. These goals would fall under the action items on the worksheet. Then there are the long-term goals. Long-term goals usually take a year or more to accomplish. For example, your long-term goal may be to get promoted to the manager position on your job. The short-term goal is to be the best employee and to look for training opportunities. And I must stress one point, and that is you must be consistent. Being the best employee doesn't mean going over and beyond what's expected of you one day, and then the next day you're coming to work late and you're always on the phone. Because, and another example, you can't go to the gym once a week and expect to lose weight. It's something you have to do every day. Maybe you want to start a business. What small steps do you need to take in order to have a prosperous business? Do you need to start saving money every week? Do you budget your checkbook every week? Are you paying attention to money coming in and money going out? What's your plan to bring your vision to pass? Or someone may want to start a blog. In order to be a good blogger that people will follow, you have to always be posting content. If you want to build a large following, you have to post blogs more than once a month. You need to do it every week or bi-weekly. Have a plan. And before I move on, I just want to talk a few minutes about your environment and the people you surround yourself with. It's important that you set up your environment for success. It's also even more important that you surround yourself with people who will inspire you and encourage you to reach your goals. Are you setting up your environment to win? If you're one of those ones who wants to lose weight, are you setting up your environment with healthy foods, or are you still bringing ice cream and chocolate into your home? You may have a desire to want to read more. Are you making your environment a place where there are books next to your bed or in the bathroom where you can easily pick it up and read? Or are you being distracted by social media because you have no books around you? You have to set up your environment for change. Who is in your sphere of influence? Now let's look at the people you hang around. Who do you talk to? You need to surround yourself with people who will push you into being the best that you can be. Not everyone are going to be happy because you have goals and you want to follow your dreams. You need to surround you need to surround yourself with people who will support you, who will support your goals and your dreams and push you into achieving them. Who is it that you need to limit your time with because of their negativity? Surround yourself with other people who have dreams and goals like yourself. Surround yourself with people who aren't just surviving, but people who are thriving. Step number 3, personal development plan. You have to have a personal development plan. First, you write down the dream. Next, you have the goals. And number 3, you have a personal development plan or a PDP. I once heard someone say, if you want to be successful in life, don't seek success. Instead, seek to become a person of value. When you become a person of value, success will come, favor will come, your dreams will come to pass because you're seeking purpose and not popularity. You become more valuable by changing you. If you want more, you must become more. In order to become more, you must have a plan. A personal development plan or PDP, which I also included a worksheet for. It involves maybe you might want to hire a mentor or a life coach. Take a class. You may want to get a certification or a degree in a certain field. Whatever you need that will take you to that next level in the pursuit of your dream. Or maybe you just need to buy or borrow a few books from the library to increase your knowledge and skill set in your field. You always want to be learning new things that will help you to be the best in your field. You should study people who are where you want to be. Study their habits and the steps they took to get to where they're at now. Even meet with them if you can. Contact them to sit down with them for lunch and interview them. And depending on their schedule and their willingness to meet, this will provide you with an awesome opportunity to ask them questions. Ask them the steps they took to get to where they're at and pick their brain about their success. And take notes while you're with them. The information that you receive will be priceless. Another step to becoming a person of value is reading for 30 to 60 minutes every day in your chosen field of expertise. Take notes and think about it throughout the day. And one good idea from an expert in your field can transform your entire life. One good idea from that book can transform your entire life. Instead of listening to music, you should listen to audio programs when you're driving in your car that are motivational, or programs that will help you grow and expand your mind and help you to become a better you. I once heard someone say that if you are in a group that does not grow you, expand you, or improve you, then you need to change groups. And the same thing goes with the programs that we listen to and watch. Are they motivational? Do they help us to grow and expand our minds to help us become a better person? And finally, you increase your value by using your gift or gifts. And as you operate in your gifting and what you already know, your gift is becoming perfected. You've heard the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And we should always be students, because once you think you know it all, you stop growing or developing. Continuously seeking knowledge should be a lifelong pursuit. Growth and development should be a part of your daily routine, which I will get to in a few minutes. And as I said before, consistency is key. See, a lot of people have goals or New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year to lose weight, to write a book, save money. And then by the time February comes, we get distracted by life. Being a wife or mother and entrepreneur, or an employee, a co-worker on our jobs. And we forget and stop doing the things that we wrote down at the beginning of the year. We forget about our goals and our plan, and we stuff it away in a book somewhere or under a stack of papers. To keep this from happening, I would advise that you tape your goals and your PDP to the wall or the refrigerator, somewhere you will see it every day, because distractions are inevitable. Sometimes life just happens. Things that are out of your control will happen and try to take your focus off your goals, which is why I am adamant about writing things down and putting it in a place I can see it every day, that it's always before my eyes. That way, when I get sidetracked, my plan is before my eyes. My goals, my dreams, my visions are before my eyes to help me stay on track. Step number 4, have a daily routine. Okay, I hope you're still with me. We are now in the final stretch of this webinar. And to summarize, we first need the dream or vision, which is the destination. Then we broke that down into goals, which is the journey to the destination. Then to enhance our goals, we need to grow and develop ourselves during the journey, which is our personal development plan. And now for the final step. We're going to break it down even more into what's called a daily routine. Now, this is something that's not weekly or monthly, but it's something that you do every day. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? What do you do when you get home from work? Your life today is the sum of your habits or your routine. You may like watching TV or Netflix for hours at a time, but if you want to live your best life, you're going to have to turn the TV off and get off of Facebook and Instagram and the forms, all the different various forms of social media that seem to take and take your time from what's more important. I once heard someone say the average American watches 5 hours of TV every day. That means by the time you're 60 years old, you would have wasted 15 years of your life glued to a box watching other people achieve their dreams. In order to pursue your dream, you may have to change your habits. Successful people adopt successful habits. In order to stay focused, you need to have your day mapped out from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night. If you don't plan your day, anything and everything else will try to come and distract you to take your focus. Whether it's social media, a phone call, or just plain laziness or fatigue. When you don't plan your day and just leave it up in the air for whatever happens, then believe me, whatever can happen will happen, and you will not go far in life. Now, granted, you see those people who became an overnight success, but those people are few and far between. And the ones who are blessed with instant success have to have a plan to maintain it, or they will fail. It's like people who play the lottery and they become an instant millionaire. If they don't seek financial advisors to guide them on how to spend their money and how to invest it, they will lose it. That's why when you see instant millionaires a few years down the road and they're poor again, it's because they didn't have a plan and they didn't adopt good financial habits for success. I also have my daily routine written down. Surprise! My daily routine begins with God first by praying and reading a chapter in my Bible, and then I exercise. I spend a few minutes a day visualizing and picturing in my mind what I desire my future to look like. Then I work on my business and my ministry by developing webinars such as this one, or I'll write a chapter for my new book, or I'll do a video for my YouTube channel. Then I cook dinner, and if my day goes as planned, I like to spend an hour reading a book that's helping me to become a person of value. At the end of the day, I write in my gratitude journal, being grateful for the things that transpired during that day, along with thanking God for my future as I write down my dreams. I try to stick to my routine every day, but of course, there are some days when distractions will come. Or I might have to prepare for a speaking engagement or do something with my husband. But that's okay because life happens. So don't beat yourself up when you can't get to everything on your list every single day. That's why there are only 24 hours in a day. After those 24 hours are done, you get another 24 hours to start over again. The point is that you don't quit. Quitting is not an option. See, we are flawed individuals. None of us are perfect. But the point is that when we mess up, we have a new day to do better than we did yesterday. So to summarize what I've said so far, the first step is to write the vision or your dream. Then break down the vision into goals that will help you reach your vision. Then write down a plan which will include action steps and specific dates that you will complete each step that will lead to the goals being realized. And then have a daily routine. Know what you're going to do each day. That small step that will get you closer and closer to your vision. And as a final word, whatever you do, don't quit. Don't give up. And that's what I like to tell women that I minister to, is to don't give up. It's easy to quit. The enemy wants you to quit, but don't quit. Go after what you want. Don't just sit around waiting for luck to come around. Even if you have to take baby steps, then take baby steps toward your dream. Do something every day that will propel you closer to your vision. Take the necessary steps to be the CEO of your life by managing your life. Fill your day with high priority things that inspire you. Because if you don't, low priority things and distractions will fill your day. Don't allow anyone to tell you that your dream is impossible, because I'm here to tell you it is possible. Greatness is inside of you, and it is time to let it out. Well, thank you so much for staying until the end. And I really do hope that you learned something that you didn't know before, or maybe you just needed a reminder to get back on track. And before I end this webinar, I want to let you know about a book I wrote called Next. And the subtitle is 4 Steps to Get Unstuck and Walk into Purpose. Now, they are not the 4 steps that we just talked about, but I go into greater detail about living your best life with additional spiritual and practical steps that, if followed, you will have great success in your life. And both the book and the workbook are available on Amazon. Well, I hope you enjoyed this webinar, and if so, I hope you pass it on to a friend or relative who may have gotten stuck due to the cares of life, and they just need a push to get back up and keep going. So until next time, here's to living your best life God's way. Bye-bye.